Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I hope you all have had a wonderful Christmas. I just want to jump on here today to talk about my bulk, talk about how it went, what it was like, what a bulk even is, why I did it, all of that. Because I know I've been talking about how I'm bulking a lot on my Instagram, but I never really went into the full why and everything like that. So if you're new to weightlifting or you are weightlifting and you've never bulked and you're considering it, maybe you want to know what it's more like, you know, the things that people don't tell you, the things that people do tell you, the good, the bad, all of that. I will bring you through that right here, right now. So stay tuned. Before we get into it, please make sure to subscribe and like the video if you like this type of video, a little bit more educational, a little bit more about my experiences. Please like the video, comment down below, do what you want. So in March of last year, I decided to cut down for the summer, as a lot of people tend to do. They'll do more cardio and things like that. But mine was a little bit more of a strategic cut. I wanted to get my body fat percentage as low as was comfortable for myself. And I did that. And I was really happy with the body that I had over the summer. But when the summer was coming to an end and it was around October, not October, it was like September, I was back at school. And I just did not have the motivation to work out. Like, I was struggling to find a way to get to work out because I was not enjoying the workouts. I was mostly doing high volume stuff because I was cutting and just trying to get the pump in, and it just wasn't doing it for me anymore. And I was just so bored with the workouts. I couldn't even get myself to go to the gym, let alone even work out in general. And I was looking at my body and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm proud, obviously, of the muscle mass that I have built and gained, but I want more. Like, I want bigger legs. I want more muscle mass on my legs. I want bigger quads and hamstrings and glutes. I want more. So I was like, you know what? I think I just have to decide that it's time that I go into a bulk. So that's why I decided to do it. It's not like, oh, it's winter, let's bulk, because everyone bulks in the winter. It was like, personally, I wanted more muscle mass. I wasn't happy with where I was, and I didn't have the motivation to get to the gym. So deciding I was gonna bulk meant I'm going to now have the motivation to get stronger and to feel like I'm pushing heavier weight, and that kind of motivation just makes me so happy. So that was so exciting for me. The way I went about it, I was eating still on like sort of a maintenance calories thing. I was on 1850 calories. So I've been counting macros since I started my cut in March. I just find it the most convenient, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. But I was eating about 1800 calories through to October. And then I increased it to 2100. And then eventually I was posting on my story a lot about how hungry I was because I was literally starving. So I think actually I increased my calories to 2500, and then I was even hungrier because my metabolism was like now on fire because it has so much food to work with. So I was always hungry for the first like 1-2 weeks, which just happens. It's just natural. But that was it. I went up to 2500 calories. That is the most food I think I've ever eaten consistently and strategically, and counting my macros like that. I mean, right now I'm still eating at my bulk calories, just because I'm not cutting yet. But when I start cutting, I won't be eating this, but I'm eating around 345 grams of carbs, which when I was cutting back in the summer, I was only eating around 150 grams of carbs. So that 200 gram jump is crazy. And it was like a lot to take in because I had bulked before, but it was never strategic with like counting macros or anything. And it was more just like I was just eating what I thought was healthy, and I didn't really know much about portion sizes. So about a bulk. People always tell you you're going to gain fat when you bulk, and that you are going to have to gain fat when you bulk because you're going to gain muscle. And to gain muscle, you have to eat in a caloric surplus. That's the whole thing of a bulk, is you're bulking up your body with extra calories to build muscle. Yes, you are going to gain fat. There's no lying there. You are going to gain fat. I gained plenty of fat, and I'm so excited to cut because I'm sick of seeing this much fat on my body. It's not like a ton of fat, but it's enough that I don't want it anymore. But yes, you will gain fat. But what they don't tell you either is that it's not gonna be like super fast, like bam, you started bulking, now you have extra fat on your body. It's gonna be like a slow process that you start building up over time. I bulked from October until now, the end of December. I've gained definitely some fat, but it's nothing like crazy where I feel like I'm now like overweight and need to go work out and do cardio for 10 years. One thing they won't tell you. 2 things actually they won't tell you. Watch your fiber if you're going to bulk. I was not prepared for this at all because I never tracked my food, like I said before, like the way I had now. And when you're eating more, when you're eating in a bulk, you are eating more carbs specifically. And when you're eating more carbs, you're gonna eat things that are grainy, you're gonna eat things that are starchy. So I had always thought you should always eat whole grains, you should always eat whole wheat, you should always eat whole whatever. No, because what happens is you're going to eat way too much fiber, you're gonna be bloated consistently, have terrible digestive issues if all you eat is the whole kernel. Women only need about 25 grams of fiber a day, men just slightly more, but once you go over that, no matter how much water you're drinking, no matter how healthy you are, anything like that, you don't need more than 25 grams of fiber, unfortunately. So if you do go over it, especially if you go over in a large amount, you're going to have digestive issues. And that happened to me. I did not realize that I could not go over that 25 by so much, or that I was going over by so much. And I had terrible digestive issues. So a couple weeks into my bulk, I did start buying basmati rice, jasmine rice, white bread, or lower fiber breads even. Rice cakes are a great source of carbohydrates that are not really that high at all in fiber, so I highly suggest that. So different things where you can make sure you're eating enough carbohydrates but not going over your fiber, because you're also gonna get fiber in your fruits and your vegetables. So keep that in mind if you're gonna start bulking. Make sure you watch your fiber because you don't wanna have digestive issues, because it's not gonna be fun. Another thing, watch your sodium. When you're eating more and you're focused on eating a lot of calories, odds are you're gonna have some processed foods in your diet. If you don't, that's great, that's good for you. I wish I could have done that, but I just didn't, and have the time to always like make clean, fresh, low sodium foods. But if you have a lot of processed foods in your diet, make sure you're checking the sodium on the things you're eating, or just keeping track of your sodium throughout the day. There were plenty of times during my bulk when I would go well over my sodium intake and I would see it on my body. I mean, when you're increasing fat and increasing sodium and you have more water retention on your body, you're just gonna feel bigger overall, even though you may not have gained that much fat. It's just because of the water retention. So make sure you're watching sodium. That's something that people probably don't tell you too much, but it's something that really, honestly, it shows on your body if you have had too much sodium. It really does show. With that, drink plenty of water. Always drink plenty of water, but especially when you're bulking, you're eating so much, you're not really doing too much cardio, you probably have more sodium in your body, you wanna drink a lot of water just to wash everything through. What else? Protein. For some reason, people are like bowing down to protein like it's the one and only thing that you need to eat in order to gain muscle. Yes, protein is extremely important. Yes, you should be eating enough protein for your body, but don't go crazy. When I bulked 2 years ago without counting my macros, I was eating way too much protein. Like when I look at how much protein I eat now compared to how much I ate then, I'm like, what the F was I doing? Like I had at least probably 2 servings of chicken a day. And by servings, I mean it was either 4 to 5 ounces of chicken every single day. Egg white, I had peanut butter, I had a protein shake, and sometimes a protein bar on top of that. My portion sizes and proportions were just so completely off like 2 years ago, and bulking now on macros makes me realize it so much more. And something else I'll say, I really do suggest if you are going to bulk, just count your macros. If you want to be clean and as strategic about it as you can be, you don't have to count your macros, but if you aren't, then maybe you do want to do a little bit of cardio here and there to make sure you're not gaining too much fat. Just counting your macros helps make sure that you're not going to go overboard while trying to gain muscle. All in all, I'm so happy I decided to bulk. I feel so much stronger. I feel so much more ready to go this year. When I start cutting, I'm so excited to see what's underneath. I'm so excited to see the new muscle and everything like that. So I'm very, very happy that I did start bulking. Again, I am going to be starting to cut very soon. I think January 1st, if not a little bit after that. I just want to begin to see, you know, what's underneath. And I'm gonna first go into a maintenance for a little bit, maybe like 1 or 2 weeks, and then start cutting. And if you wanna follow my cut, you can obviously subscribe and I'll be sharing the whole thing on here. So that was what my bulk was like. If you have any questions about a bulk, how to set it up, how to count your macros, how to find your macros, etc., please feel free to DM me or message me on here or do whatever and I'll help you out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any suggestions or questions or comments that you would like me to answer on my YouTube, please let me know and I will do so pronto. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe